Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. Now this is another of the videos in my Oak Camp series. I'm staying at my spring tented retreat here in the southern British countryside, all in the interest of improving mental resilience and just well-being, because it's so enjoyable to step into the outdoors and slow the pace of life a little. And you've already seen me lighting fires, cooking. I've got a stew on the fire at the moment. You can probably see the smoke billowing past. And I've been using a number of quite simple products and other items in my daily activities here. And I thought, because I've done a number of EDC, everyday carry videos for general chap life, I thought I'd share with you my Woodland equipment, my Woodland everyday carry, so to speak. So I carry a bag when I'm out and about in the woods. I'll talk about that. I'll just talk about some of the items which I carry around with me and which are on my person. So not a great deal, but I'm sure you'd be interested to know. Now you've probably seen me at my fire, lighting things, cutting wood, and the axe I've been using is this Barco camp axe, right? It's not very big. It's, what is it, 1¼ pounds in weight, but it's a perfect little axe just for chopping wood and doing sort of bulk work by the side of the fire there. It's light enough to carry around. I don't carry it around with me obviously day to day, but I leave it here by the fire. I bought this in its original form. It didn't look like this. It was all covered in orange paint. The shaft was covered in orange paint, and I effectively modded it, as you might say, by improving its appearance just by sanding the crappy finish off. And it's a lovely little axe, just out of interest if you're wondering what I've been using. Now, as a man who is bereft of hair, follically challenged, which I don't mind actually, I enjoy having a short haircut anyway, but the hat which I use when I'm here in the woods is my good old trusty Tilly hat. Now Tilly is a Canadian brand. I've been wearing these hats for, it's got to be nearly 20 years since I became aware of them, and they're just really comfortable, really rugged. I own 5, I think, of these hats, 4 or 5 at least, and I've got them spread around different parts of the house, different styles. This is one of the styles I prefer. I think this is made of hemp, this particular one. They can be quite expensive. I think they're in excess of sort of £50. I've bought every single one of mine off eBay at vastly reduced prices. I've never paid more than sort of £20 for one. They last forever. Famously, the story which Tilly retells to people is that they're often worn by people like zookeepers, and in one particular case, one was snatched off the head of a zookeeper by an elephant who ate it. The hat passed through the elephant's gut, was retrieved from its dung by the owner, and was washed and continued a happy life as a hat. So goes to show the resilience of these hats. The hat, the oldest one of these I've had for 20 years, it doesn't look any different to the day I bought it. So really good hat, solid, robust. They've even got a sort of polyurethane insert in the crown, so if it falls in the water, it'll float. You can't even drown the things. But that's a really good hat. I wear that to protect the head and neck. Now, my bag. Why do I have such an old, knackered out bag? Well, this bag I've had since my childhood. As a young kid, I enjoyed fishing, and this was my fishing bag. All right, I used to have I was a fly fisher, and in here I had my flies and my reels and various other things. And I bought it from a local army surplus store in my town in South Wales 40 years ago, gotta be. It's been with me ever since, and I still use it to this very day. When I come out into the woods, I stack it up with the things I need. If I'm being honest, it is obsolete. The sling, which isn't removable, is quite narrow, so it does dig into the shoulder somewhat, and I'm thinking about replacing this, but for the time being, sentimentality dictates that I still carry this fella around. So what have I got inside? Right, so inside I often do lots of bushcraft work, so a good pair of gloves, and this is just a pair of leather gardening gloves. They didn't cost a lot of money, but I use them just to protect my hands. It's an essential element, because when you're out maybe miles from anywhere, the last thing you want to do is slash your wrists and be in a bleeding situation. Wear protective items where you can. Okay, inside my bag. Now when I'm out and about, one of the things I do enjoy is a cup of tea or coffee. Tea really for me, I'm not a big coffee drinker. And my absolute necessity is my Kelly kettle. Now Kerry kettle's really straightforward bit of kit. You light a fire in the base. You can use anything you like, fat wood, fire lighters or whatever. And it's hard to describe how it works, but it's often called a volcano kettle because you pour water in through this hole, and the water is contained in sort of a pocket around the shaft. So you can see, I can see you through here. There you go. The water, sorry, the fire, this is a chimney in effect, goes up, and the water is in this pocket, and it boils in a remarkably quick period of time. It's very effective. I think this will hold, I don't know, is it a pint, I think, surely, or even a litre, I'm not sure, but you can get quite a lot of water in there. You can boil enough water for 2 cups of tea in minutes, absolute minutes, and it's so effective. I've had this one for 20 years. I've used it hundreds, if not thousands of times. It's made of aluminium, so it's not particularly heavy, and it's a very, very useful tool if you like being out in the woods and you enjoy a hot drink now and again. And on that note, in here I've got my brew kit. So tea bags, I don't take sugar, but sweeteners sometimes, lots of other things, little sort of amulets of coffee, the sort of things you pick up from hotels when you're visiting. I pick them up, bring them with me. Of course you need a fire lighting kit. So in here, there you go, got some matches, got some fire lighters as well. Just simple stuff. I tend to prefer to light my own fires, but if I don't have the ability to do that, I will use my fire lighting kit. Water is an essential, and I carry, this is a British Army water bottle. I think I've got a number of these, picked them up from eBay for next to nothing really. You can buy them in army surplus stores, and it holds a litre. It's very effective. You can see it's made of black plastic. Keeps the contents cool, and it's just a nice big aperture on the front, gets water easily, goes inside. Very effective. Also comes with its own mug, which fits on top of it, as you can see, just like that. So it's easy to pack, but also this is an effective mug as well. So if you're, when I'm making a brew, just pour the water and the tea straight in here, ready to drink. Big enough to hold, probably about well over half a pint. So if you're making soup or anything like that in the field, it's ideal. Folding handle, doesn't take up much space, doesn't cost a lot of money, very good bit of kit. Been using them for years and years. Also in here, because I never remember to have any when I'm out, I carry my eating irons, as we call it. So knife, fork, spoon set, simple as that. Always in there. It costs virtually nothing. In fact, I hardly ever use them. They look pristine because I tend to use other things. My fingers probably, but always carry it because you never know. Potato peeler. Odd thing to take, but I'm often cooking outdoors and I prefer to use vegetables where I possibly can. Healthy eating, clean food, clean mind, and a very inexpensive, probably an old surplus one from the house, vegetable peeler is what I need. Torch, because the last thing you want to do is be caught out at night, and this is an amazing torch. I'm probably going to do a showcase review on this as a whole video. This is an Olight Mini Marauder torch, and it's rechargeable, and I don't think I've ever owned a torch which is so effective in such a small package. This has a floodlight setting and a spotlight setting, and I kid you not, when I step out of the tent at night, if I turn this on, it turns the outdoors into daylight. It is almost unbelievable, the illumination that it sheds in the world. And if you turn it on the spotlight setting, I'm pretty sure if I stood here, I could illuminate the face of the moon with this baby. It is that good. And it's quite light. The battery lasts a very long time because it's rechargeable. So a very good one to carry around because it's not too big, but it's very, very powerful, which I rather like. What else have I got in here? Well, in my side pocket, I have got a head torch, because often when I'm camping out, I like to read, and a head torch is a necessity, and this is a head torch, got a simple one, inexpensive one, from a British company called Kit. I've been using their kit since they very first started. Very reasonable price stuff. These head torches, just pop it on. They're very good. I've had this one for a number of years now. For if you're trekking through the woods, something like that, or you're sat in your tent, it's got different settings, high-low settings. Batteries seem to last forever. It's not rechargeable, it's actual physical batteries, but takes up no space, very light. And again, the last thing you want to be doing if you're out longer than you thought, and it dark is struggling to navigate or fall down something because you can't see. Little head torch, always effective. I do actually have, I didn't notice that in the bottom, I've got some paracord in the bottom of that pocket, always useful, and some tie wraps. So just in case I need to make any repairs or effect a tourniquet if I inadvertently lose a limb to a predator when I'm out and about, good to have some kit in there. In the front, what have I got? I have got a bucket cap. So again, if I don't take my main tilly hat and I want to keep the sun off, it's a particularly hot day, it's just a bit of extra protection. The last thing you want is to get sunstroke. And in my other front pocket, I've got a little tub of trail mix. Nice, simple, healthy trail mix. Very good. Very nice, almond. And keeps you energized without taking up a lot of space. Okay, in my pocket at the front, which used to be where you put the fish when I was out fishing, I've got my folding saw. This is a Barco folding saw. I've had this one a number of years. I've had a few of these actually. Very good, very light, very effective at chopping limbs off trees, making firewood, anything you need to do. I can't remember how much this costs. They're probably around £20 now. You can even change the blade. So if the blade wears out, you can buy a new blade, fit it so you don't have to throw the whole package away. Good bit of kit. And also in there, fire steel. Fire steels are great. Great way of lighting fires. There you go, just like that. You get thousands and thousands of strikes from these things, and doesn't matter if they get wet, doesn't matter what happens, they always work for you. This is by a company called Fitzroy. I really like this one because it's quite a large fire steel. You get really good throw of material off there to light your fires. So that's my bag. On my person, I do carry my phone normally for emergency purposes. My phone is actually recording my hands, my sort of close-up stuff here. So it's just over there. It's an iPhone 12 mini because I like smaller kit. What else have I got? On my person, of course, I have a knife, normally on the belt or in the bag. But this is a bushcraft knife by Bristol company called Fitzroy Knives from the fire steel, and this is a really nice little, I've done a whole video on this to review it and showcase it. This was provided for me by Fitzroy Knives to make use of during my time here in Oak Camp as a working sample and to review it. And I've done everything with this. I've lit fires with it, I've processed firewood, I've cooked my dinners every day. The edge retention is superb. It's let's have a look. It's N690 stainless steel with a bead blasted finish. It's sort of slightly sort of canted blade on it, straight flat grind, so it's not a Scandi grind. Makes it very sharp. Very nice, good handle. It's my Hessian micarta, the handle, so good and solid, makes you know you've got hold of something decent. It also comes with a lovely black leather sheath, so it's always safe. That's a lovely bit of kit. I've enjoyed using that, carrying it around with me. Also in my pockets, what have I got? Oh, right now, that's nothing. I've got my personal penknife, which is a legal carry here in the UK. This is a Heine Haynes simple little small penknife, which has a cutting blade and a let's have a look, what else has it got? And a little scissors. That's all I tend to need, to be honest. So that works all right for me. And that has got a nice little clip on it. So it clips nicely in the pocket, wear and forget until you need it. In my other pocket, what have I got? I have got a wrapper from my beef jerky, which I used in cooking, and also a handkerchief. So simple things, but necessary things that one needs. Stick that back in the pocket because I don't want to litter. I don't leave nothing around. And finally, what else have I? Oh, my wristwatch. Now I know what you're thinking. Do you need a watch when you're out camping? Well, you do really, just to keep track of things. And for me, a rugged, tough watch is the Rolex Explorer. I have to tell you, this watch has utterly ruined me when it comes to wristwatches. I would have considered myself or described myself as a little bit of a watch enthusiast, but I bought this last of all the nice watches I own. I've got a number of other Rolex pieces, you know, more classical ones, GMT Masters, Submariners. What else have I got? Datejusts. I bought this as my last one. I can't take this thing off. because it is just so practical. I wore it in London last week when I was visiting Savile Row. It fitted into that environment. Up here in the woods, stainless steel, tough, rugged, waterproof. I just don't have to worry about it. It's on my wrist when I need it, and it doesn't take up any sort of excessive real estate on my wrist. It's quite small, 36 millimeters, winds itself. You know, I can get it wet. I can plunge my hand into a pool of water to snatch a trout out for lunch. Don't have to worry about it. That is my star watch, and I could absolutely retire pretty much all of my other nice Rolex watches, because this one has usurped them all for my wrist time. Hard to imagine going back to wearing GMT Masters now, big superfluous complications, when it just does the job. So there we go. That is my Woodland everyday carry. There's quite a lot of stuff there, but of course some of it's in the bag. I don't carry it around on my person all the time, but when I'm at the campsite here, I've got just enough to get me through the day and get the job done. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, subscribe. If you'd like to add to the dialogue, what am I not carrying? What should I be carrying? Let me know in the comment section below. If you'd like to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee or you can become a patron. The links to which are in the show notes below. And my patrons receive additional videos from me, letting them see behind the scenes and catch up with my life other than here on the main channel. And you'll see the names of my esteemed patrons at the end of the video. So until the next time, folks, take care, carry what you need, and I will see you again very soon.